Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books.
Sounds fun.
Let's get started.
Okay.
Today we're diving into Woman Missing by Sherryl Clark.
Oh, yeah, I loved that one.
It's a real page-turner, right?
It is.
So many twists and turns.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen next.
Keeps you guessing until the very end.
For sure.
And the protagonist, Lou Alcott, is just amazing.
She's great, isn't she?
I just couldn't help but root for her.
Me too.
An ex-police officer.
Tough as nails.
Now she's working as a private investigator.
So cool.
But she carries the weight of her past.
Oh, absolutely.
You can tell it haunts her. All those experiences on the force.
Yeah, and it's constantly battling her inner demons.
She is.
Makes her so much more real.
It does.
And then there's her family.
Oh, right.
Especially her grandfather.
Let's just say he has a rather unique profession.
Yeah.
You could say that again.
It definitely adds another dimension to the story.
It does.
It's like she's trying to escape one world.
Right.
But she's constantly being pulled back into another.
Exactly. It's like she's walking this tightrope.
Perfectly said.
So Lou starts her new job at PMI.
Hall Marshal Investigation.
That's the one.
Catchy name.
And her first case seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, what was it again?
A security check for a woman named Melinda Moreau.
Right.
Melinda's worried about her ex-boyfriend.
Makes sense.
He was abusive.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, so she's understandably nervous.
I can't even imagine.
But she's also incredibly on edge, almost paranoid. I mean, her fear just jumps off the page.
Doesn't it?
It's like you could feel it.
It's almost like the author's giving us a little hint.
Oh.
Foreshadowing, maybe?
You think so?
I do.
Interesting.
Like there's something more going on.
More than just an ex-boyfriend.
Exactly.
Ooh, this is getting good.
Just wait. It gets even better.
Okay, so then
What
boom,
happened?
another case lands on her desk.
Oh, no.
The disappearance of Diane Patterson.
A missing person.
Yep.
This is getting juicy.
Diane's a wealthy stay-at-home mom.
Wow, okay.
And her husband, Justin,
Yeah.
he hires PMI to find her.
So he's worried.
You'd think so, right?
Right.
But there's something about him.
Something off.
Way off.
Like what?
Well, he's controlling.
I'm trolling him.
And suspicious.
Nice.
It's like he wants to be in charge of everything.
That is strange.
Like those dinners he was so obsessed with.
The ones that were supposedly waiting for Diane.
Yeah, every night.
But she was missing.
Exactly.
So who was making these dinners?
That's what's so weird.
Maybe he was making them
Maybe.
hoping to throw people off the scent.
It all felt like a facade.
Like he was trying too hard to control the narrative.
Make everything seem normal when it wasn't.
Right.
Lou starts digging into Diane's life.
He's smart move.
Interviewing her family, her friends.
Getting the inside scoop.
Trying to piece together a timeline.
Did she find anything?
Oh, she found plenty.
Inconsistency.
In Justin's story. In everything.
Oh.
And the more she probes, the more suspicious he becomes.
This is getting intense.
It is.
So we've got 2 missing women now.
Well, Melinda hasn't officially disappeared yet.
Oh, right.
But it's coming.
You think so.
Oh, yeah.
And the police.
They're useless.
What do you mean?
They don't seem to be taking any of it seriously.
Really?
It's like they're brushing it all off.
That's so frustrating.
It is.
Especially for Lou.
Especially for Lou.
She's got this gut feeling.
That something's terribly wrong.
But nobody's listening.
And then things take a turn for the worse.
What happens?
Lou's own safety is threatened.
What? Why?
Remember her grandfather?
Oh, right, the unique profession.
Well, it tends to attract some unsavory characters.
Makes sense.
A rival crime boss.
Who is it?
Anthony Fade.
Never heard of him.
He targets Lou's grandfather.
What does he do?
There's this attack on his house.
Oh, no.
It's brutal.
Is her grandfather okay?
He's shaken up, but he's alive.
Thank goodness.
But his bodyguard, Emmanuel.
What about him?
He's killed him.
That's awful.
And Lou starts getting threats.
Directly.
Phone calls, messages, the works.
This is bad.
It's like her past is catching up with her.
Like she can't escape it.
Exactly.
She keeps going.
She keeps going.
Wow.
She doesn't let the fear stop her. She's determined to find Diane and Melinda.
That's incredible.
And then comes the worst possible news.
Tell me.
They find Diane's remains.
Oh, no.
Buried in a shallow grave.
This is heartbreaking.
It is. And it confirms Lou's suspicions about Justin.
So he really did it.
It looks that way.
What about Melinda?
That's the thing. Just as she starts to close in on Justin, she gets taken, kidnapped.
By who?
2 guys.
Do we know who they are?
She met them through dating apps.
No way.
It's crazy, right?
It's terrifying.
One of them is Jonathan Black.
That name rings a bell.
He's one of the guys Lou was suspicious of early on.
I knew it.
They're driving away with her.
Oh, no.
They're going to kill her.
What?
Silence her for good.
What happens? Does she escape?
It's a miracle, really.
Tell me.
They crash.
The car.
Yeah. It's a whole thing, a chase, a struggle.
So much.
But Lou survives.
Thank goodness.
It's touch and go for a while.
I bet.
But she pulls through.
Whew.
And Black and the other guy,
What about them?
they're caught.
Finally.
But here's the twist.
Another one.
The other kidnapper,
Yeah.
his name's Nick.
Nick who?
Another one of Lou's dating app matches.
No way.
It's insane, right?
This is like something out of a movie.
He was messaging her the whole time she was missing,
What?
acting all concerned.
How manipulative.
The whole time he was involved with Melinda's disappearance.
This guy's a real piece of work.
He is, and he tries to finish the job at the hospital.
No. While she's recovering.
But luckily,
What?
one of her grandfather's men, Cheery Joe,
Cheery Joe.
shows up just in time.
Wow, talk about a close call.
That's Lou Alcott for it.
Always in the thick of it.
So they finally catch Nick
About time.
and find Melinda's body.
It's so sad.
It is, but at least there's some justice.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't help but wonder.
What's that?
What about Anthony Fade?
Oh, right, he's still out there.
Something.
Lou's not out of the woods yet.
Not by a long shot.
Makes you wonder, huh?
About Lou.
What about her?
What happens to her after all this,
I think she'll be okay.
You do.
Yeah, she's tough.
She is.
But she's been through so much.
I know.
It's got to take a toll, right?
I guess so.
I mean, just thinking about Melinda's story.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's heartbreaking.
Said it-
First, the abusive boyfriend.
And then those guys online.
It's scary how easily things can go wrong.
It is.
You think you're safe.
Right.
And then, boom.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder
About what?
about who you can really trust.
Especially online.
Oh, definitely.
You never know who's on the other side of the screen.
That's what's so disturbing about those two guys.
Jonathan and Nick?
Yeah, they seem so normal.
I know.
Like regular guys.
They were monsters.
They were. And Nick,
Yeah.
the way he was messaging Lou the whole time.
Pretending to be worried.
I know. Can you believe that?
It's sick.
It is really sick.
It's like he enjoyed it.
Maybe he did.
The manipulation.
The control.
It's terrifying.
But Lou, she didn't fall for it.
No, she didn't.
She saw right through him.
Well, eventually.
Sure, she had her suspicions early on.
She did about both of them.
She's got good instincts.
She does.
And she never gave up on Melinda.
No, she didn't.
Even when the police wouldn't listen,
She kept pushing.
she was determined to find the truth.
And she did.
She did.
It's just sad that it ended the way it did.
Yeah, but at least Melinda got justice.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's Diane.
Oh, right, Diane.
Her case was just as messed up.
Oh,
Her husband.
he was something else, wasn't he?
He was so creepy. All that talk about the dinners.
I know.
And he was trying to paint this perfect picture.
Of their marriage?
Yeah, like everything was fine.
When it obviously wasn't.
No, not
He was
fine.
controlling
And manipulative.
and ultimately dangerous.
He killed her.
It's awful.
It is, but Lou, she wouldn't let it go.
She wouldn't let Diane be forgotten.
No, she fought for her.
She did. She fought for both of them.
I think that's what makes her such a great character.
What do you mean?
She doesn't just solve cases.
Right.
She fights for the victim.
She does. She gives them a voice.
Exactly.
It's like she's got this sense of justice.
She does. It's really strong.
And then there's her family?
Oh, yeah, her grandfather.
The whole criminal underworld thing.
It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
It's like she's constantly being pulled in two different directions.
Trying to do what's right.
But also being loyal to her family.
It's tough.
It is. It's like she's got this internal conflict.
Between her values and her loyalty?
Yeah, and you can see how it weighs on her.
It does. It's part of what makes her so real.
So human.
Exactly. And you know what else I thought was really interesting?
What's that?
The setting.
Oh, yeah.
Melbourne?
It's practically a character itself.
I mean, it isn't it?
The way Clark describes it,
The vivid.
you can almost feel the city.
The grit, the energy.
The laneways.
It's like...
She captures the essence of Melbourne.
And it adds to the whole atmosphere of the book.
It does.
It's like the city is a reflection of Lou's internal struggles.
In a way, yeah.
Those contrasts.
The light and the dark.
The beauty and the other.
The vibrancy and the danger.
Right, and you never know what's lurking around the corner.
You don't.
Just like in Lou's life.
Exactly.
And there's the whole thing with her grandfather.
Oh, right.
Anthony Fade.
And has trouble.
He is, and he's still out there.
Somewhere.
It's like a ticking time bomb.
Waiting to go off.
Makes you wonder if Lou will ever truly be free.
Free from what?
From her past.
From her family's legacy?
From the danger.
It's a good question.
Will she ever find peace?
I hope so.
Me too, but I have a feeling her story's not over yet.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Woman missing.
Such a great title.
It is.
It really captures the essence of the book.
It does. It makes you think.
About what?
About all the different ways a woman can go missing.
Physically.
Emotionally.
Mentally.
Even in their own lives.
That's deep.
It is, and it's something I think a lot of women can relate to.
Probably.
So for our listeners out there,
yeah.
What do you think are the key takeaways from this book?
That's a tough one.
It is. There's so much to unpack.
But I think for me,
Yeah.
it's a story about resilience.
Resilience.
Yeah, like Lou.
Right. She never gives up.
No matter what life throws at her.
She keeps fighting.
Exactly. And I think that's a powerful message.
It is. It's inspiring.
And then there's the whole online dating thing.
Oh, right.
Melinda's story.
It's a cautionary tale.
It is.
About the dangers of the internet.
You never really know who you're talking to.
That's for sure.
And it can be so easy to get caught up.
In the excitement.
The anonymity.
The possibility.
But it's important to remember
You're so bad.
to be careful.
To be aware.
To trust your instinct.
If something feels off.
It probably is.
So yeah, Woman Missing.
It's a great book.
It's a thriller.
With a lot of heart.
And a protagonist you can't help but root for.
I agree.
So there you have it, folks.
That's a wrap.
Our deep dive into Woman Missing.
Hope you enjoyed it.
I know I did.
Me too. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for listening.
And don't forget
to subscribe.
And share the love.
Happy reading, everyone.
See you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride.
Don't forget to share the knowledge.
Spread the word.
Oh,